What's up, guys? This is Gino J, the Construction King.
And it's Marissa J, the Female Builder.
This is day number 1 of our new construction property. What we building, babe?
We are building a 4,000 square foot home here in the heart of Atlanta.
Hey, let's go, man. We're about to show y'all what's going on. Let's get into it. Yeah, so right now we're standing in the garage, and as you can see, we have high ceilings. These ceilings are actually 12 feet. This garage is actually about 600 square feet. And above the garage, we're going to be doing a super cool rooftop, like deck, patio. It's going to be covered. That's one of the amazing features about this home. I've already went through some of the preliminary plans with the framers just to make sure our windows are right, our doors are right. They have a few questions, so I came out here to answer their questions to make sure we're on track and to keep the process going.
This area right here, this is inside the garage.
Yes, inside the garage.
So how you gonna do this? You're gonna have a step down here from the house into the garage.
So that's right here. Yeah, one step down here.
Okay, but it's gonna have to be on this side, on this door.
Okay, well, let's see what alterations we can make.
This is this door.
That's that door going into the kitchen.
Okay.
But
this area right here, this wall has to come all the way across, but you have a wall coming here, and then from here goes this way.
We can this can just be a wall. We can close this up. I only need one entrance going into the house.
This part right here.
What I'm saying, I don't have to recess that out, man. Like this can just be a wall here. I don't need to have. I could just have just this space here.
You want this wall?
That could just be a wall, yeah. And then we'll just have this as the butler's pantry.
You just have a wall right there where you're standing.
Okay. So a wall would be right here. Yeah. So right now we got some issues with the framing. What we're trying to do is not lining up with what we want to do. So I just walked with my framer, and he had some questions about the framing. So I got my engineer on the line, and I'm actually having my architect come out and pull up so we can conference in the engineer and try to see if we can't solve this issue. This is the first time I'm building this house. I built a version of this house, but we're making it bigger, and so there is some complexity in it. So I got the framers pausing on what they're doing, and my architect should be here in about 30-40 minutes, and then I'm just going to walk the property with him, and then we're going to three-way our engineer just to make sure we're framing up this house the right way. It's stressful. These are the stressful moments that you run into, but you just figure out how to solve that problem and just pivot. So we're going to make that pivot and figure it out and keep moving forward.
So what's the issue with the architect, babe? What happened?
So the plans are just not quite lining up. How to slant that roof line on that patio to have some fall, so when it rains you want obviously the water to flow away from the house, to slope away from the house. So we got to slope it up top, but half of it is over the garage, and then we do have a part of that patio, that rooftop terrace, above some living space. I think I have an idea, but I want to make sure we could talk to the architect and the engineer to figure out like what's the best solution for it, and if my idea will work. It may slow us down a little bit, it may not, but the stuff you deal with when you're framing a house, at the same time we got to make sure that it's right.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. All right, babe.
Yeah, I guess we will. We ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
Shit, we got $70,000 worth of lumber out there, and the framer's gonna charge what, $24,000. So damn near $100,000 on the line. So gotta figure it out. Yeah, so we just pulled up back to the site, man. I got my architect out here with the framer. I'm about to get this figured out.
So we're gonna have to slope all these walls here.
Yeah, but this is a closet. We don't care about a slope wall in the closet.
You don't, I do. I have to cut all my lumber.
No. You're saying. You have to worry about it, but the client doesn't care about it have an eighth of an inch slope. I'm not talking about a quarter of an inch slope. We're changing the slope from. I gotta talk with the structural guy and say, hey, can we slope that instead of 1/4 of an inch? Can we slope that to 1/8 of an inch?
It was so many feet. It has to have a 2-inch fall. For
Yes,
what he was selling.
this is asking for it too.
Okay.
2 inch.
Yeah,
Okay.
2-inch.
Let's go over with the owner what we came up with. Otro vez más. One more time.
We're gonna frame this just to get to the ceiling height.
Okay. So my question about this, Warren, because we changed it, because originally this was on a slab and we changed it on a slab, but this is all in the garage right now.
What do you guys think about us having, instead of having 3 rooms here, just having 2? One storage there and then a longer mudroom area.
That's
so
fine.
when you walk into it, you have a longer seat in order to sit down. So it's not so cramped.
What's going to be there? Water here or something?
Inside of this last one, yeah.
Yeah, that's plenty of room for a water heater. So at the end of the day, my architect showed up. We were able to figure it all out. You know, we had a couple calls back and forth with the structural engineer just to make sure what we were trying to do was going to work. We needed to make sure that the house was functional, so my wife was involved, also looking at the plans, making sure the layout changes would work with her design, but we end up getting it solved. So these are just the things that you deal with when framing a house, especially when you're framing a house for the first time. You're going to have some change orders. You're going to have things that you want to alter. You're going to have things sometimes that don't even line up. So getting your architect and engineer involved and your framer on the same page is always key. And then, of course, making sure you build a good house that's structurally sound, but also keeping the functionality in flow. So if you like content like this, make sure you smash that like button because we're going to be documenting this entire project from the ground up and several other projects as well.